Hi, welcome back to the last day of our conversation. And I really wanted to find out yesterday what gave Kristin her strength, the motivation for progressing as she did. So, Kristin.
Well, the number one was I, at the time, wanted to save my marriage. This is my second marriage, and so I'm going through my second divorce now. And then when I saw the statistics of the rates of divorce and also the rates of suicide, and all those who are struggling, it just motivated me even more, knowing that there is absolutely 100% a need for taking care of our mental wellness and mental fitness. And that it's not just about taking care of our physical self, but this is the number one asset we have to be able to survive is right here. And using mindfulness and gratitude is just the way to do it. Once you've got this in place, this takes care of itself.
It does. It does. What's your view on that, CR?
I really appreciate all of the stories that we've heard recently. Not just the people that are here today, but also many other stories that we've heard over the last little while. It really lets me feel that there are many stories out there that are very important. Stories that are far worse than what I think I've been through. I really appreciate the strength that everybody's had and everybody's shown. Kristin and Amy and Solomon, I really appreciate you guys coming here and chatting about mindfulness, mind health, mental health, because that's really why I'm here. I'm here because I want it out there. You know, we talk about cancer, we talk about heart disease, and it's a day-to-day conversation. But how often do we talk about our mind health? You know, keeping our body is always a number one priority, keeping it healthy, but nobody thinks about your mind health. And to me, I think that's a really big missing piece. It's a huge missing piece. As Kristin said earlier, you know, once you fix this and keep this healthy, the rest follows suit. It really does. So I really think that more and more we as people need to say, hey, guess what? I need help. Here's my hand. I need help, you know, and it's okay. And I think that by people that are doing this, exactly what we're doing here and talking about what we're feeling, what we've been through, how we've survived, helps the next person go, hey, listen, I'm not that odd person out. I'm not weird. I'm not odd. I'm not strange, because guess what? I'm doing the same thing. And the more people that say, hey, listen, we've dealt with this, the more people go, hey, you know, I'm normal. It's average. It's okay. It's no big deal. And I can talk about how I feel. And I think that's number one, being able to talk about how we feel.
Absolutely. Now, it struck me from all of our stories today, Amy and Kristin and Solomon, that we've all been right to the edge in some pretty dark places, basically. Do you think that's what has to happen to require the breakthrough? Amy?
That's an intriguing question, because I've contemplated that a lot. For me, yeah, because I'm stubborn and was set in my ways and not paying attention to the universe showing me a lot of things. So I think sometimes I have to be knocked down pretty, or used to. Not, you don't have to do that. Ideally, if we could teach young kids and stuff emotional intelligence, I don't think we're going to have to go through that. No, I mean, sure, we learn that, but or could we do it a little bit with a little bit more ease and grace than perhaps like I did when I was younger, you know? And it's certainly, you know, vulnerability is a good thing, resilience is a good thing, but I don't know if I'm stubborn. So, I mean, for me, it was definitely required to get my attention. But now I practice things like mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and it helps. It helps.
Yeah. So, Solomon, from your perspective, you dealt with being a victim of narcissistic bullying. How, and that's informed what you're now doing as a business, which is brilliant. How did you cope at the time?
That's a tough one. You know, I think when you're in that hurting place, I talk about this all the time. When you're in that hurting place, it's like going through like a bad car accident, you know. So you know you got to find a way to get out of there and get to the healing process. So I always say you got to go through the hurt to get the healing. And a lot of us, you know, we get stuck in the hurt, and that's where anxiety and depression and suicide comes into play. So if you stay in that place, like we all done been in different, you know, places in our life, I think it can be suicidal, and that's why we have suicide rates and things like that. So I had to learn to, you know, be honest with you, my beliefs, I had to learn to go to God in prayer, and you know, I call it the war room. So I believe in, you know, praying and, you know, figuring out like what's wrong, you know, what's really wrong, and why I'm the common denominator, and why these things are happening in my life.
So the faith that you have, does it help by giving meaning to the struggle?
Yes, it does, because I think sometimes God will actually put you through something and teach you something. So sometimes, you know, I think when you hit rock bottom, I think that's when you like, okay, boom, you finally get it. Like Amy said, you know, she's stubborn. I'm stubborn too. So sometimes I just don't get it. And I think God actually, you know, has to sit some of us down sometimes, like, look, you just not getting it. Look, this is what I need you to do. So, and I think that's what happened with me, and that's where Faith-Based Workplace came out of. You know, it was going through a struggle, and like, okay, I need you to do this, you know.